Today we're diving into the fascinating world of market structures with a special focus on perfect competition. Market structures describe how different industries are organized, how businesses interact, and how prices are determined. Understanding these structures helps us see why some markets are highly competitive while others are dominated by just a few firms. In this video, we'll break down the concept of perfect competition, explore its key features, and see how it compares to other market types. Let's start by setting the stage with an overview of what market structures are and why they matter in economics. Perfect competition is a theoretical market structure where many small firms compete against each other. In this environment, no single firm has enough power to influence the market price. Instead, prices are determined purely by supply and demand. This structure is considered the benchmark for efficiency in economics because resources are allocated in the most effective way possible. Although real-world examples are rare, understanding perfect competition helps us analyze how markets work and what happens when conditions are ideal. Let's look at the main characteristics of perfect competition. First, there are many buyers and sellers, so no single participant can control the market. Second, the products offered are identical, meaning consumers see no difference between goods from different sellers. Third, all firms and consumers have perfect information about prices and products. Finally, there are no barriers to entry or exit, so firms can freely enter or leave the market. These features create a highly competitive environment where efficiency thrives. In a perfectly competitive market, there are countless buyers and sellers. This means that each individual firm or consumer is too small to affect the overall market price. If one seller tries to raise their price, buyers will simply switch to another seller offering the same product at the market rate. This constant competition keeps prices stable and ensures that no single player dominates the market, making it a truly level playing field. Another defining feature of perfect competition is that all firms sell identical or homogeneous products. This means that consumers don't care who they buy from because every seller's product is exactly the same. For example, think of basic agricultural products like wheat or corn. In such markets, branding and advertising don't play a significant role because there's no difference between one seller's goods and another's. Perfect competition, all buyers and sellers have complete and instant access to information about prices, products, and market conditions. This transparency ensures that everyone can make informed decisions and no one can take advantage of hidden knowledge. As a result, prices quickly adjust to reflect changes in supply and demand, and resources are allocated efficiently throughout the market. One of the most important aspects of perfect competition is the absence of barriers to entry or exit. This means that new firms can enter the market whenever they see an opportunity for profit, and existing firms can leave if they're not making enough money. This constant flow of businesses entering and exiting keeps the market dynamic and competitive, preventing monopolies and ensuring that only the most efficient firms survive. Perfect competition, individual firms are known as price takers. This means they have no power to set their own prices. Instead, they must accept the market price determined by overall supply and demand. If a firm tries to sell above the market price, buyers will simply go elsewhere. This ensures that prices remain fair and competitive, benefiting consumers and keeping firms efficient. Firms in a perfectly competitive market aim to maximize their profits by producing at the level where their marginal cost equals the market price. Since they can't influence the price, their only way to increase profit is by managing costs and producing efficiently. This drives innovation and encourages firms to find better ways to operate, which ultimately benefits consumers through lower prices and better products. In the short run, firms in perfect competition can make profits or losses. However, in the long run, the absence of barriers means that new firms will enter if profits exist, driving prices down. Conversely, if firms are losing money, some will exit, causing prices to rise. Eventually, all firms in the market will earn just enough to cover their costs, resulting in what's called normal profit. Normal profit is the level of profit that allows a firm to cover all its costs, including the opportunity cost of capital. In perfect competition, firms earn normal profit in the long run because any economic profit attracts new entrants, increasing supply and lowering prices. This process continues until profits are just enough to keep firms in the market, ensuring resources are used efficiently. Perfect competition is often praised for its efficiency. Because firms must operate at their lowest possible cost to survive, resources are allocated in the most effective way. This means that goods are produced at the lowest cost and sold at prices that reflect their true value. Consumers benefit from lower prices and a wide selection of products, while firms are constantly motivated to improve. A perfectly competitive market, consumers enjoy several advantages. Prices are kept low due to intense competition, and the quality of goods remains high because firms must constantly improve to stay in business. Additionally, consumers have access to a wide variety of products and can easily switch between sellers if they find a better deal. This creates a dynamic and consumer-friendly marketplace. While consumers benefit from perfect competition, producers face significant challenges. With so many competitors and identical products, it's difficult to stand out or charge higher prices. Firms must focus on efficiency and cost control to survive. This pressure can lead to innovation, but it also means that only the most efficient businesses remain in the market over time. Though perfect competition is a theoretical model, some real-world markets come close. Agricultural markets like those for wheat or corn often have many small producers selling nearly identical products. Financial markets such as stock exchanges also exhibit some features of perfect competition. However, most real markets have imperfections that prevent them from being truly perfect. Perfect competition is a useful model for understanding how markets can work under ideal conditions, but it has limitations. In reality, products are rarely identical, information is not always perfect, and barriers to entry often exist. Additionally, external factors like government regulations and technological changes can affect how markets operate. Despite these limitations, the model provides a valuable benchmark for comparing different market structures. Better understand perfect competition, it helps to compare it with other market structures like monopoly, oligopoly, and monopolistic competition. Each structure has its own characteristics, advantages, and drawbacks. By examining these differences, we can see why perfect competition is considered the most efficient, even if it's not always achievable in practice. Monopoly is the opposite of perfect competition. In a monopoly, a single firm controls the entire market and can set prices without competition. This often leads to higher prices and less choice for consumers. In contrast, perfect competition ensures low prices and high efficiency, but it's much harder to achieve in the real world. Understanding these extremes helps us appreciate the balance most markets try to strike. Oligopoly is a market structure where a few large firms dominate the industry. These firms may compete or collude, but their actions can significantly influence prices and market outcomes. Oligopolies are common in industries like airlines and telecommunications. Unlike perfect competition, oligopolies often lead to higher prices and less innovation due to reduced competition. Monopolistic competition is a market structure that combines elements of both monopoly and perfect competition. Many firms compete, but each offers a slightly different product. This allows for some price control and product differentiation. Examples include restaurants and clothing brands, where businesses compete on quality, style, and service, not just price. Barriers to entry are obstacles that make it difficult for new firms to enter a market. These can include high startup costs, strict regulations, or strong brand loyalty among consumers. In perfect competition, there are no such barriers, allowing for free movement of firms. However, in most real markets, barriers exist and can limit competition. Technology can have a major impact on market structures. In perfect competition, technology helps firms reduce costs and improve efficiency. It also makes information more accessible, supporting the ideal of perfect information. However, advanced technology can also create barriers if only a few firms can afford it, leading to less competition. Governments often intervene in markets to promote competition and protect consumers. Regulations can prevent monopolies, ensure product safety, and maintain fair pricing. In perfect competition, minimal regulation is needed because the market self-regulates. However, in less competitive markets, government oversight becomes essential to prevent abuse and ensure fairness. Markets are constantly changing due to shifts in supply and demand, technological advances, and consumer preferences. In perfect competition, these changes are quickly reflected in prices and production levels. Firms must stay agile and responsive to survive, which leads to a dynamic and efficient market environment. In perfect competition, demand is highly elastic because consumers can easily switch between sellers. If one firm raises its price, buyers will immediately turn to competitors. This keeps prices stable and ensures that firms cannot exploit consumers. Elasticity is a key reason why perfect competition leads to fair pricing and efficient markets. Supply in a perfectly competitive market is determined by the willingness and ability of firms to produce at the market price. Since all firms are price takers, they will only supply goods if the price covers their costs. If prices fall below costs, firms will exit the market, reducing supply and pushing prices back up. This self-correcting mechanism keeps the market balanced. In perfect competition, advertising plays a minimal role because products are identical and consumers already have perfect information. Firms cannot differentiate themselves through branding, so advertising expenses are usually low. This contrasts with monopolistic competition, where advertising is crucial for product differentiation. Market equilibrium occurs when the quantity supplied equals the quantity demanded at the prevailing market price. In perfect competition, this equilibrium is reached quickly because firms and consumers respond instantly to price changes. This ensures that resources are allocated efficiently and that there are no shortages or surpluses in the market. Allocative efficiency means that resources are distributed in a way that maximizes total benefit to society. In perfect competition, this is achieved because firms produce exactly what consumers want at the lowest possible price. No resources are wasted, and everyone gets the most value for their money. This is one of the main reasons economists value perfect competition as an ideal. Productive efficiency occurs when firms produce goods at the lowest possible cost. In perfect competition, only the most efficient firms survive, driving down costs and benefiting consumers. This constant pressure to improve ensures that resources are used wisely and that the market remains competitive and innovative. Dynamic efficiency refers to the ability of a market to adapt and innovate over time. In perfect competition, firms must constantly seek better ways to produce and deliver goods to stay ahead. This leads to technological progress and improved products, benefiting both consumers and the economy as a whole. Consumer sovereignty means that consumers have the ultimate power in determining what gets produced. In perfect competition, firms respond directly to consumer preferences, producing only what is in demand. This ensures that resources are used to create goods and services that people actually want, maximizing overall satisfaction. In the long run, firms in perfect competition earn zero economic profit. This doesn't mean they make no money, rather, they earn just enough to cover all their costs, including the opportunity cost of their resources. Any profit above this level attracts new firms, increasing supply and driving profits back down to normal levels. In the short run, some firms may experience losses if market prices fall below their costs. However, as these firms exit the market, supply decreases and prices rise, restoring profitability for the remaining firms. This self-correcting process ensures that only the most efficient producers remain in the market over time. Costs play a crucial role in perfect competition. Firms must manage their production costs carefully to remain profitable since they cannot influence prices. This focus on cost control drives efficiency and innovation, benefiting both producers and consumers in the long run. Market signals such as changes in price or demand guide firms in perfect competition. When prices rise, firms increase production to take advantage of higher profits. When prices fall, less efficient firms exit the market. These signals ensure that resources flow to their most productive uses, keeping the market balanced and efficient. In perfect competition, there is no product differentiation. All goods are identical, so consumers make choices based solely on price. This lack of differentiation keeps competition intense and prevents firms from gaining market power through branding or unique features. Resource mobility means that factors of production like labor and capital can move freely in and out of the market. In perfect competition, this mobility ensures that resources are always used where they are most needed, maximizing efficiency and keeping the market dynamic. Perfect competition assumes there are no externalities, costs, or benefits that affect third parties outside the market transaction. In reality, externalities like pollution or public health impacts can distort market outcomes. The absence of externalities in perfect competition ensures that prices reflect the true cost and value of goods. In the model of perfect competition, there is no need for government intervention because the market self-regulates. Prices, production, and resource allocation are all determined by supply and demand. However, in real markets, governments often step in to correct failures or promote fairness. Transparency is a cornerstone of perfect competition. All market participants have access to the same information, ensuring that transactions are fair and efficient. This openness prevents fraud and manipulation, making the market trustworthy for both buyers and sellers. Supernormal profits or profits above the normal level cannot persist in perfect competition. Whenever firms earn more than normal profit, new entrants are attracted, increasing supply and driving profits back down. This ensures that the market remains competitive and efficient over time. Even in perfect competition, innovation plays a key role. Firms must constantly seek new ways to reduce costs and improve efficiency to survive. While product differentiation isn't possible, process innovation can give firms a temporary edge until competitors catch up, driving overall progress in the market. Sum up, perfect competition is a theoretical market structure characterized by many firms, identical products, perfect information, and no barriers to entry. While real-world markets rarely meet all these conditions, the model helps us understand how competition drives efficiency, keeps prices low, and benefits consumers. By comparing perfect competition to other market structures, we gain valuable insights into how markets function and what makes them efficient. Thanks for joining us on this journey through perfect competition and market structures. Remember, while perfect competition isn't ideal, it provides a useful framework for analyzing real markets and understanding the forces that shape our economy. Whether you're a student, a business owner, or just curious about economics, knowing how market structures work can help you make better decisions and appreciate the complexity of the marketplace.